that this longing for you follows wherever I go. In the roaring traffic's boom, in the silence of my lonely room, I think of you day and night, night and day. You are the one.
Great song, and done so well too. My first guest today on the program is Brisbane-born singer and performer. He was the face of the Superhumans campaign in London for the Rio 2016 Para Games. More recently, Tony D performed on the national television show for Australia Day on the 10 Network. Tony, nice to have you with us today on my program.
Oh, thanks very much, Leigh. Nice to be here.
Yeah, great song, mate. Great song. You're right into the jazz, aren't you? Swing jazz?
Yes, I am. I am.
Yeah, that's really, really nice.
I started off doing musical theatre when I started voice lessons, and I said to my teacher, oh, this stuff's all a bit depressing, because I was doing Les Mis and Phantom, and she introduced me to swing, and I took off with it.
Yeah. I think if the story's right, I read about you that you took along a CD or something, didn't you, to your teacher? And it was a Frank Sinatra you first took, and she said, yes, you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that great?
That's right.
So did you study singing as such?
Yeah, well, I had some lessons because I was basically in charge of the singers at my church, and I wanted some of them to have lessons, and I wouldn't ask them to do anything I wouldn't do myself.
Yes, fair enough. You were very, very involved in the church in those days. Is that still a part of your life too?
Oh, yes.
It is.
I'm not part of the music team at the moment, but that may change.
Tony, how did this all start for you? When did you first start to sing, and was it always on your plate to do it?
I started hearing from people that I had a voice that wasn't too bad when I was in my 20s. And, I started to develop that, branch out into actually doing something with it rather than just singing in the shower. And, that led to being involved in the music team at church, and then leading the music team at church, and doing lessons. But singing outside of that environment has been probably in the last 5 years.
So you've gone more professional, I suppose, in the last 5. Is that what it is?
Well, when we're talking professional, it's really the ad last year that has facilitated an even deeper foray into the music world. But, before that I was just doing tiny little things like the occasional gig at an aged care centre or what have you.
I was talking to Russell Morris last week on this program, and, of course, he was sharing a dressing room, he tells me, with you at the Opera House.
Ah, okay. Yes, he was. He was. And he's a nice guy. And I remember a little chat we had backstage where he admitted to me that he still gets nervous after all of these years in performing.
You wouldn't have got nervous, surely?
Remarkably not anywhere near as much as I thought I would.
Really?
Yeah, more excited than nervous.
Tony, how did the gig come about?
Well, we had, of course, the Paralympic gig last year.
Yes.
That was, they found a YouTube video very much like the one you've just played. And it was just me at an open mic night. My wife had put it up on YouTube, and I had since created a Facebook page, shared a few of those videos, and they've made their way through various shares. A group called Can Do Musos also shares my stuff.
Right.
And Channel 4 have come along on the internet looking for singers and musicians with disabilities, and they've found it. And they contacted me and said, look, we have a concept for an ad and we already know the song we want to sing. We think your voice could handle it. So how about learning it and sending us an audition tape?
Wow. And the rest is history.
Yeah.
And from that, Channel 10 came along and you were on the Australia Day broadcast.
Yeah, well, the Australia Day concert at the Opera House was run by the New South Wales Department of Premier and Cabinet, and they had engaged me before to sing at the Welcome Home in Sydney for the Paralympic athletes. So they'd had a chance to hear me, and they obviously liked me enough to invite me back to one of their events.
Tony, you have spina bifida. I saw you in a wheelchair on stage. How does that affect your singing, if at all? Do you find with the breathing techniques and so on there's any limitations?
Well, they're supposed to be. I mean, I joke about it and say to people, it's hard to sing in a wheelchair, apparently. I don't find it that hard myself. I mean, it may be that it's slightly made up for by the fact that I'm quite tall if you're just counting my upper body. Mm-hmm. So I've got a bit of a long torso, lots of room in there for air.
Yeah.
So, I don't find it as hard as some others obviously do.
Yeah, well, I asked you that question because looking at you on stage there, you didn't seem to have any difficulty at all. The air was flowing beautifully. You had such a powerful voice. It's a wonderful voice you've got.
Well, thank you. I really enjoy what I'm doing, and I've had enough training to sort of know that breathing is everything, and try and keep everything nice and relaxed, and just let it all come out.
Are you still playing a wheelchair basketball?
Oh, no, I haven't played that for quite a number of years now.
A few years, yeah.
I stopped playing that, and then my wife and I did wheelchair dance sport for a while.
Oh, okay.
And dabbled in social 10-pin bowling, and I still like to be as active as I can.
What's your aim from now, Tony? What would you like to see yourself doing next?
I would like to be able to do more and more singing, perhaps get something regular at a venue, and as well as the nice government and corporate gigs like this one we've just done.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah, have something at a club maybe on a weekly or fortnightly basis.
Now, you did have a day job as well, didn't you? Weren't you doing something in an office?
Yeah, I'm still doing that 3 days a week.
Still doing that?
I'm there right now.
Okay.
Just having a break, and
so you'd like to be able to give that away and go professionally into the industry?
Eventually, yes.
Good on you.
Yeah.
That's a great goal. Now, one of your favourites must be Sinatra, of course. Who else is in your genre there? Who else do you like to perform?
Well, years ago again, we had Harry Connick Jr., who was doing that kind of genre, as well as his more laid-back stuff.
Yes.
He was back then what Bublé is now, I suppose. And then you've got, of course, Bublé. But from the old school stuff, I like Tony Bennett. I like Nat King Cole.
So you got the crooners there, because you've got that sort of crooner voice,
Dean
haven't
Martin.
you?
Yeah.
And where are you based these days?
Still in Brisbane,
Still
on
up
the
there?
north side.
Okay. Well, if anyone wants to get in contact with you, is there a website or your Facebook page that people can access you, perhaps to engage a performance or something?
Yeah, I don't have a website as yet, but my Facebook page is Tony D Music, and that's all spelt out, so it's Tony D-E-E Music.
Music, good.
3 words, and that's my Facebook page. There is a button on there where you can just click it and it'll send me an email.
Send you a message, yes, I did see that myself too. So Tony D Music, that's the one to do, and you can get in touch with this guy and get in perhaps to your functions too. And of course, being on the internet, this program goes right around Australia and around the world too. So let's hope you might get something through there, Tony. But I did enjoy your singing on that Channel 10 show the other day. It was brilliant, and to see you up there doing all of those things, congratulations, mate. You haven't let the disability affect you one bit, and it sounds like you've got a fantastic life. You keep up.
Thanks very much, Leigh.
Nice to talk to you, pal. Take care, please.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tony D, what a nice gentleman. And if you didn't see him on the show, please even go to YouTube and have a look at this man perform. He is brilliant. He really, really is.